Oh, it's almost over. They were poor, but in time I was to realize that I was even poorer. When I discovered that plans were afoot to marry her to a widower of 40, I plucked up enough courage to declare that I would marry her myself. But my youth was no consideration. The widower had land and a generous gift of money for Kamala's parents. Not only was this offer attractive, it was customary. What had I to offer? A small rented room, a typewriter, and a precarious income of 2 to 300 rupees a month from freelancing. I told the brother that I would be famous one day, that I would be rich, that I would be writing bestsellers. He did not believe me. And who can blame him? I never did write bestsellers or become rich, nor did I have parents or relatives to speak on my behalf. I thought of running away with Kamla. When I mentioned it to her, her eyes lit up. She thought it would be great fun. Women in love can be more reckless than men. But I had read too many stories about runaway marriages ending in disaster, and I lacked the courage to go through with such an adventure. I must have known instinctively that it would not work. Where would we go and how would we live? There would be no home to crawl back to for either of us. Had I loved more passionately, more fiercely, I might have felt compelled to elope with Kamala, regardless of the consequences. But it never became an intense relationship. We had so few moments together, always stolen moments on the stairs, on the roof, in the deserted junkyard behind the shops. She seemed to enjoy every moment of this secret affair. I fretted and longed for something more permanent. Her responses, so sweet and generous, only made my longing greater. But she seemed content with the immediate moment and what it offered. And so the marriage took place, and she did not appear to be too dismayed about her future. But before she left for her husband's house, she asked me for some of the plants that I had owned and nourished on my small balcony. Take them all, I said. I am leaving anyway. Where are you going? She asked. To Delhi to find work. But I shall come this way sometimes. My husband's house is on Delhi Road. You will pass that way, and I'll keep these flowers where you can see them. We did not touch each other in parting. Her mother came and collected the plants. Only the cacti remained, not a lover's plant, the cactus. I gave the cacti to my landlady and went to live in Delhi. And whenever I passed through the old place, summer or winter, I looked out of the window of my bus or taxi and saw the garden flourishing on Kamla's balcony. Leaf and fern abounded, and the flowers grew rampant on the sunny ledge. Once I saw her leaning over the balcony railing. I stopped the taxi and waved to her. She waved back, smiling like the sun breaking through the clouds. She called to me to come up, but I said I would come another time. I never did visit her home, and I never saw her husband. Her parents had gone back to their village. Her brother had vanished into the great grey spaces of India. In recent years, after leaving Delhi and making my home in the hills, I have passed through the town less often. But the flowers have always been there, bright and glowing in their increasingly shabby surroundings, except on this last journey of mine. And on the return trip, only yesterday I looked again, but the house was empty and desolate. I got out of the car and looked up at the balcony and called Kamla's name, called it after so many years, but there was no answer. I asked questions in the locality. The old man had died. His wife had gone away, probably to her village. There had been no children. Would she return? No one could say. The house had been sold. It would be pulled down to make way for a block of flats. I glanced once more at the deserted balcony, the withered, drooping plants. A butterfly flitted about the railing, looking in vain for a flower on which to alight. It settled briefly on my hand before opening its wings and fluttering away into the blue. That is a love of long ago. That's another very sad story. That's it. Thank you.